So let us go to the material master mm01. Now I'll create a material, okay, in BB10 FG. There was something old and new I did, so I will call it some other material. I will say, yeah, OLNE, old new, or else I'll say old and new, okay. And I will create this material, say mechanical engineering, and go FERT, okay. Say okay. You will have to select basic data 1 because we are doing production. So select all the MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these settings. Okay, accounting 1 and work scheduling also you have to select. Say okay. Now first time we will not select any valuation type. Okay, so we are not going to select any valuation type. In fact, the box also doesn't appear. So plant and storage location is BB10. And now I'll go here and old and new, right? I have created this material. Basic unit of measure is each and the group is B100. Say enter. MRP1, MRP group, and ND. Lot size is EX. Okay. Say enter. Okay. We are not doing any special procurement. Nevertheless, production storage location I can give as BB10, and that's all. It's not co-product, etc. Strategy group is 10. Okay, make to stock, and availability check is KP. Okay, production version we don't have it now, so I have to wait till the production version I will complete, and then go here. This is where work scheduling you give the production supervisor B10. Enter. Division is K1. Valuation category, this is the important field. You will have to select the valuation category. If you recollect, we have created valuation category BB10 9 FG old new. Now valuation class will be the main materials. Okay, see, as of now you are seeing all these multiple currencies, right? Company code currency, group currency, hard currency, but all of these will go away. So select B40. Okay, say okay, and then say enter. Okay, now what happened, all those multiple currencies are gone because this is at the group valuation type, not group valuation, I mean valuation category 9, right? At valuation category level, and now we will have to move this to moving average. Okay, okay, V, that's all. Do not enter any price. Say okay, say okay, say okay, say enter. Profit center BB10, of course, BB10 PC01. Okay, enter, 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 save. Okay, now for the same material in the same T code MM01, okay, you will have to select basic data 1, MRP 1, 2. You don't have to select even 1, 2, 3, 4. Directly it will only select accounting tab. It will not even select a costing tab. Say okay. Okay. And now select the plant, and now select the valuation type which is assigned to the category. So first I will set it up for old. Okay. Say okay. FGL. See, costing selection is removed, which means the cost estimate will not be done at the valuation type level because we have selected the moving average. It will happen at the higher level. Okay, say okay. Now valuation class is B41 for old. B41 is for old. Do not enter any standard price. Say okay. Say okay. Say okay. Okay. Accounting 2. Do you want to save the material first? Yes, of course. Done. Now same thing now we will do for the next valuation type in MM01 itself. BB10 FG old new. Okay. Basic data 1. Don't have to select that as well. Okay. Just say okay. Now select the plant. Now valuation type, you have to click the search help button. See, FG old is already configured. Now go to FG new. Select FG new and say okay. Costing selection is cancelled as you could see here. And now what you have to do, valuation class is B42. B42. The role of valuation class is only to pick up the right GL account against the particular transaction type. If you are purchasing goods, then only the inventory and GRIR will get affected. So the transaction key will be BSX and WRX. So if you are issuing to consumption, then GBB, VBR will get affected and BSX will get affected. So we have maintained those GL accounts at the OBYC setting. So now again I am not going to give any standard price. We will compute the standard price. Okay, say okay, say okay, save. That's all. That's all. Now what has happened? You have now created a material with a valuation category 9. The global category 9 is for FG, old assembly line versus new assembly line. Now I'll go here. I'll go to bomb CS01. I'll create two bombs. One bomb for the old assembly line, one bomb for new assembly line. So this is the material. Plant is BP10. Okay, look carefully. Okay, bomb usage is of course production 1. Alternative bomb, when you don't select, by default it will take 1. And valid from, I will say valid from 1st August. Enter. Okay, say L, item category L, and component is RM001. Quantity is, let's say, as per the old process, right? This first one I am creating is for old. For old process, 3 units are required of RM001 and 2 units of RM002 are required. Okay, because old process is bit heavy on the raw material input side. Usually that is not a practical example, but I am giving you just to show you how it all impacts, right? The raw material usage, whether you use old assembly line or new assembly line, it should be the same thing. In some cases you will get some efficiencies. So let me click on save. This is the first bomb. Now what you do, you define the alternative bomb. For alternative bomb, again you see here alternative bomb, you say alternative bomb is 2. Okay, and again it is valid from 1st August. So I will again select it from 1st August. Okay, now as per the new process, so L, okay, RM00, it takes only 2 quantities. Okay, again L, RM002, it is same as old assembly line, 2 units, right? Now save. Now that bomb is done, we will go to routing, CA01, okay, BB10 FG old new, BB10, again validity is from 1st. Okay, this is the old routing process. Okay, usage is 1, which is production. Status is released status. Okay, go to operations, select the work center where you are planning to produce BB10 work center 1. PP01 is the condition key. Say OK. Okay, work center BB10 work center 1 does not exist in BB10. I mean, I am surprised why it doesn't exist. So it is work center 01. Okay, it is very much exists. Okay, now say okay, go to operations. Now in the old process, the labor cost, machine, power, all of them are heavy usage. Okay, so let's say this way. Okay, here it is HR, again HR, again KWH and liters, and save this, save it, right? Now remove the, yeah, let the group counter remain. Okay, let the group counter remain. Now what you do, change the date. Again in CA01, you define for the same material alternative process using new, where the number of labor hours and machine hours will be much lesser because you are going to use the robotic machine, right? Based assembly line. So again it will say one is already existing. Do you want to create one more? Click on the create button. Okay, see group counter, it has become 2. Okay, usage is 1. Released status. Okay, go to operations. It is the same work center. Now there is some confusion, something here. BB10 work center 01. Okay, condition key PP01. Okay, go to operations. So now relatively the labor hours will be much lesser. Let's say it will only take 1.5 hour. Machine hours is again 1.5 hours. Power, it will use only 1 unit. Fuel, absolutely 0. It doesn't require any units. So hours, kilowatts and liters. Okay, and click on save. Right, now you have 2 sets of BOM and 2 sets of routing, so you will create 2 sets of production version. And how do you create production, update the production version? Go to material master using the transaction MM02, select the material, go to production version, MRP4, okay. In MRP4, select the plant, okay, storage location. Do not select the valuation type here, say okay. Now go to production version. Version is old process versus new process. Old process BB10 FG old assembly line, BB10 FG new assembly line. Give some text 18 and valid till 3112. Okay. Now click on the old process. Click on the old process. Double click. Take the routing. Select the routing. Group and counter we have to give. If you search here, okay, the counter number should be 1. The first one is for old assembly line. Okay, remember that the counter number should be 1. Similarly, BOM, you have to take alternative BOM usage 1, which is defined for the old process, right? Old assembly line. Check. Okay. Done. Continue. Now go to the new process. By default, the new process comes on the top. Select the new process. Again go to routing. Okay. Go to group. Now you have to select the counter 2. Be very careful. You have to select the second group counter 2. Double click. Again BOM usage also. The second BOM which you created, alternative BOM 2. Check. Okay. Continue. Continue. Save. Okay. Now the next step usually what we perform is running the cost estimate, but before doing the cost estimate you will have to define the mix ratio, right? For that I'll show you the path. CK91N procurement alternatives is there. So this should be production alternative, but the way it is worded is procurement alternative. Product cost controlling, product cost planning, material costing, cost estimate with quantity structure, not cost estimate, CK master data for mixed costing. In mixed costing, can you see edit procurement alternatives? Okay, internal production also it is named as procurement alternative. So now in BB10 FG old new, make sure you are selecting the valuation type. So select the valuation type as old. Okay, click on create button. Be very careful. Click on create button, FG old. Okay, create. Okay, now from production category select BF production. Select the production version. Okay, in the search help select the production version old. Okay, and name is old assembly line, right? Old assembly line. Confirm. Lot size is confirmed. Say okay. Now it is done. Old assembly line is done. Click on save. Click on save. Okay, now I would prefer you to go back again, return CK91N. Okay, now select valuation type new. In new, okay, click on create. Create. Category is production. Production version is new and new assembly line. Confirm and click on save. Back again, click, go back and check. See, you should find production new assembly line is going to pick up the production version new. Old assembly line should pick up the old production version, right? This old production has been linked to the routing and BOM bill of material appropriately, right? Now back. Now you have to give the ratios, right? Go to CK94. Okay, select the quantity structure which we created. QTST is the quantity structure for this material, for this given plant. Say okay, give ratio. Let's say old assembly line you are going to use 40% of the time. and new assembly line, let's say 70 percentage of the time you are going to use the new one, 30 percentage of the time you will use the old assembly line. You don't want to decommission the old assembly line because it is still has got a salvage value, right? You don't want to, just sell it off or etc. But for whatever business reason you want to continue it, right? 30 and 70, right? Save. Okay, as a fallback mechanism, maybe if the new production line for some reason robot based shuts down, then you need to fall back on old assembly line. So you have retained it. So 30% of your production happens in the old assembly line, 70% of the production happens in the new assembly line. Click on save, go back. Now the next step is to check CK11N. CK11N. Okay, now we are going to run the estimate PPC1. Okay, click on dates. Okay, why does it? First we have to click enter. Okay, enter. Okay, okay. So there are two different dates if you are able to observe. The costing is picking up 19th August, whereas the FI is picking the 20th August. When I was creating the bomb etc., it was picking a different date, right? The server date was different. So there is a issue with the date with respect to the server, but let's manage it and move forward. Here I wanted you to understand the maths behind it. Now when I ran the estimate, see here the first tick mark is it is mixed costing, right? It is mixed costing. Now let us do the calculation in Excel and see how we are getting these costs. First click on the FG old, right? Expand this FG old, look at old assembly line. See the cost estimate as per the old assembly line. Here you are seeing the BOM is, for some reason BOM is not linked, only okay. So there is a small disconnect here. It has not picked up the routing and it has not picked the overheads, right? To pick that up, we have to go to the material master. Just go to the material master MM02. Okay, select the same material, say okay. Now do not give any valuation type, select the plant VB10, say okay, enter, enter. Can you see here overhead group? Because I did not give overhead group, it did not take the template allocation as well as the overhead key. So I will now give BOVH, give material origin, click save. Once again go to CK11N, enter, enter, enter. Cost estimate in plant is locked by, okay, there might be one more screen where I might have got it locked. So back, do not save, no, run it again. See the cost estimate is now different. By default it is estimating for 100 units, okay, because I'll tell you, you have defined mixed ratio, right? So in mixed ratio what happens, it will have to compute 30% as per old, 70% as per new. Then for 1 unit computing that will lead to decimal places, which is why it is showing the cost estimate in 100 units, but it will go to the material master and update the price for one single unit. So let me first change the price here, take the user entry and give 1 unit and say enter. Okay, go to the old assembly line. Okay, see now you have got all the costs, you have got the materials, you have got the overheads, you have got the activity cost. Now we need to work this out on Excel. Let me pull out the Excel. Okay, let us quickly do the maths. What we are saying, old assembly line we will use 30% of the time and new assembly line we will use 70% of the time. Let's see what is the material cost as per the old assembly, and then we will come to the main product. Main product is based on average pre-V, right, which means it's based on the average cost. So material cost as per old assembly line, let's go back and check the SAP. Material cost is here, it is 1540, it is 1540. So you have 1540 and conversion cost is here 1701 and 389.64, 1701 and 389.64. so the total comes to 3630.64, which is tallying, right? 3630.64, it is tallies. Now select the new assembly line, go to the new assembly line, click on the new assembly line. Now let us capture the price. 897 is the conversion cost, 235.48. 897 and 235.48. 897 and 235.48. Is that correct? 897 and 235. 1140 is the cost of materials. So 1140. Okay. Now let's check the price. It comes to 2272 and this 2272 is tallying. Now, if you go to the main product, look at the price. As per it, the price is 2679. How did it get 2679? As per the main product, if you manufacture as per the old assembly line, the cost is 1590. How did you get 1590? As per the new assembly line. If you do it as per the old assembly line, the cost is 1089. That's how it has arrived at the main product. Now this is bit tricky. You have to understand the calculation. Look at the proportion. So take the cost of old assembly line 3630, multiply it with the percentage ratio 30%, right? So this is what you get. See, 1089 is what you should get. Let me just check. 1089.19. Now similarly, you compute it for new process 2272 multiplied by 70%, you got 1590. 2270 multiplied by 70%, you got 1590. Now look at the anomaly, right? We are saying that the cost will go down if you use new assembly line. The cost will go down if you use the new assembly line. Now let me do the total of both of these. So of course the cost has gone down. Look at this particular two cells 3630 and 2272. If you manufacture using new assembly line, it will be 2272. If you manufacture it using old assembly line, the cost is 3630. However, what is the weighted average? Weighted average is 2679.92. Why? Because 30% of the time you are going to use old assembly line, 70% new assembly line. Right? That is why the cost is falling in between. Let me say the cost is falling in between. So I'll put this one here. Okay. Not even here. I'll put it here. Mixed costing. I'll call this mixed costing. Costing or weighted average. Look at it. It is more than new assembly line cost. Why it is more than new assembly line cost? Because 30% of the time you are using the old process where the manufacturing is 3630. Right? And it is less than old assembly line because 2679 is 70% of the time you are using new assembly line. Okay. Now that you have understood, let me just go back. Okay. I'll click on save this and I will release the cost estimate. Okay. Look at the quantity structure, right? Nothing is visible here, but if you go to the old assembly line, you can see it will say which procurement alternative and production version it has taken. Right? If you look at the new assembly line, it would have taken the new production version and NEWP which you have defined. Right? Now let's go to CK24. Okay. In CK24, I'll give the company code, plant, old new. This is not the one. It is old new. This one, old new. Remove group valuation, profit center valuation, remove test run, say execute. One cost estimate were updated successfully. Now, how many lines of estimates you will get? You look at it. Okay. 7 lines you are getting. Why? Because you have defined 3 currencies. So FG new, you have 3 currencies. FG old 3630 you have in 3 currencies. The weighted average price is in a single currency 2679. So click on save. Go back. Now again click on release. Remove test run. Say execute. One cost estimate successfully done. Back. Now you see you are finding 9 line items because even at the main level it has gone and updated in 3 different currency INR, USD, Euro. Let us now go to the material master and check whether the prices are updated properly. So I am going to FG old new. No, not this one. Sorry, MM02. or mm03. Go to the main material. First I will check the main material. Plant is BB10. Say OK. Can you see the price 2679.93? 2679.93 matches here. 2679.93 for the main material, and it tallies with our Excel also. 2679.93. If you use the old assembly line, it should cost you 3630.34. So let's check that. So now I'll go to costing tab 1. Okay, costing tab 2. Okay, this is all fine. 2679. Click on this button here. Other material. Click on save material. Say OK. BB10. But FG old. FG old, enter. See what is the price? 3630. Right? Similarly, go to the new one. So for the same material, we are now able to provide three different estimates, right? Three different estimates we have made it. So that is what we have to, mixed costing allows you. Mixed costing, if you look at my session 1, I have clearly told you that mixed costing allows you multiple cost estimates for the same given material. And you can take advantage of this. BB10, FG, new. Say enter. Okay. 2272. Right? 2272 is the price. Let's go to Excel. What is the price we got? 2272. Tallied. Same thing here. 3630. So all these three things are tallied. So now we can create a production order. Okay. So now that this is done, okay, we will go and create a production order. Slave CO01. In CO01, go to CO01. Select the material. This is not the material, it is old new. This one here. Select the order type BB10. B100. Okay, enter. I'll just make one material. Okay, I'll just check with for one material of finished good. Let's see where it is capturing the details. Okay, if you now go to assignment, okay, you will not find anything here in assignment. Profit center, goods receipt. Okay, now goods receipt, can you see valuation type? Here you have to select based on which assembly line you are producing this. You cannot say I am producing both, right? This particular order which you have created against this production order, let us say you are producing 10 units. Where are you producing that? In the old assembly line or in the new assembly line? You have to take a choice, right? If you don't take a choice at the time of goods issue, calculation, etc., there it will cause you trouble. So FG old. First I will do with FG old. Okay. Say enter. Okay. Look at control. B100, variance key, all these things are correct. Date quantities are correct. Okay. Everything is fine. Master data, it has picked BOM and routing, but it is selecting group counter 2. This is where I have a small disconnect. Why is it taking group counter 2? It should take group counter 1. See, production version new it is taking. Instead of old, it is taking new. So this is where I have a challenge. There are two of them. Okay, usage group counter 2 new. This is routing. Why did it pick 2? Date quantities. Okay, what is the valuation type I have given? Goods receipt. FG old. If I have given FG old, okay, 2. Okay, date quantities, master data. In master data group, so let's say I have to change this. So no selection. So I'll select it. I have to select old. Choose. Okay. Be very careful. If you are doing it using old production, you have to select the old production line in the master data. Be very careful. If you don't do this, you will get wrong results. Okay. Now when you produce these units, you will be producing it at the cost of 3630. So instead of 1 unit, I can give 10 units. Okay, I'll create 10 units. Let's go to master data again. Group counter 1, usage is 1. Okay, assignment, say click on save. Okay, no, sorry, don't save it. First calculate costs, release it, and then save it. Now check the production order you have created, 1000247. So go to CO03 1000247. Okay, go to cost analysis. Now look at the cost you have got, 3630, right? 15,400. Raw material 1, it is taking 30 units because you are producing 10. For each unit it is taking 3. So you do not forget, in master data you have to give the select the proper routing. Okay, so 30 20 all these things are done. Now I can go and start doing the production. Okay, activity confirmation I'll do /o co 11. Okay, CO11, but I have not selected the back flushing, so I have to enable the back flushing. So what I will do, I'll go to CO02. For components I did not give the back flushing, so here in components go to give the storage location in CO02 and select back flushing, because goods issue will happen along with activity confirmation. Go to CO11N, select the order 247, enter. It is final confirmation, and pull the actual data. Okay, now let's say labor cost. If you want to create variance, you create it, but I will not suggest. Let's not create variance here. So labor cost, everything is done. Okay, click on goods movement. Okay, so you have storage location and the process is completed, so it will issue the goods issue also. Click on save. Okay, so you have two error messages. Let us just check what is the error message. Okay, now somebody is going and creating additional extension ledger in this training server, which impacts us. So for that, the transaction code is /o fin cust underscore cons underscore check underscore p. This is not an issue because of your settings. Somebody else has created a company code. By default you get assigned to that ledger, so say execute it. You see valuation view 0L ledger SC, somebody has gone and created SC valuation view. So from there you have to remove your company code. So transaction code for that is finsc underscore ledger. Okay, go to the ledger here, go to type SC, somewhere here you will have SC. Yeah, SE extension ledger. Go to company code settings, say OK, and here select your company code and remove it from against the ledger, because SC ledger is not required for us, it's not ours. So select B100 and remove it. Okay, that's all you have to do. Click save. Okay, done. Okay, close this, go back, recheck. Now everything is fine, so you can close this transaction. Go back again. Now again process it. Errors occurred, no, don't say. Again you give the same order number 1000247, enter. What does it say? Order number is already confirmed, so I have an issue here, so I have to go to the transaction COGI. Okay, here let me just check if any goods movement are stuck. Execute. Yeah, you can see that these goods movement are stuck. Click here, select. Okay, stock segment, nothing is required, just you'll have to process it. Okay, it is not allowing. Refresh. Yes, again refresh. I just have to refresh, it should get posted. Refresh. Again click on Kogi. COGI is a transaction against this plant. Whatever goods movement are held up, it will show. There is nothing. So now the goods movement is posted. Go to CO03. Okay. Check the order cost analysis. Go to cost analysis. You look at it. You have got all your costs, materials, etc. Now what is missing? Right? You will have to go and run the template allocation, do the overheads, and then you will have to receive the goods. So what we will do now, we will go and run the template allocation. What is the T code for template allocation? /n CPTA. Okay. Select your controlling area D100, say OK, and period is 8 2024. Test run, execute. So the template allocation is now done. Now go to transaction code KGI2, run the overheads, remove the test run, display, execute. Overheads are processed, done. So go to the other screen and check whether these values are getting populated. Back, again go to cost analysis. All these things are posted. Now what you should do, you should receive your goods. For receiving the goods, it is /n Migo. Enter /n Migo, do the goods receipt, order 1000247. Okay, in 1000247, say item is okay. Okay, quantity 10, where, okay, this part is selected, order data all is selected, but in material, if you see, the valuation type has come here. You can't change this. So the valuation type is FG old. Okay, click on save. Click on save. Check. Okay, post. Okay, goods receipt is done. Now if you go here, go back and again go to cost analysis. Done. See, 36,306. Now 10 units you have produced using what is this old process. Now you have to produce some units producing the new, right? So we can do that. So delivered status will come back here. Okay. So goods 10, delivered is 10, which is fine. Now you can redo it using the new production line. Same, I have to go and create it. CO01, select the material, enter. Okay, let's say I am creating 10 units. Okay, current date. Okay, now you have to go and select the valuation type, isn't it? So go to goods receipt, valuation type will be new, FG underscore new, control, everything is fine, date, quantities, but look at the master data, it has picked up new. By default it has picked up new, which is good for you. Group counter is 2, but bomb usage, you see, bomb both are there, which is fine, no issues. Group counter is 2 for new, which is correct. Alternative bomb, fine. And now do the calculation of cost. Now you can display the cost also. Even before you release it, you can display the cost. Okay, cost analysis. Look at it, 22724. Let me just check the Excel. So see 2272.48 into 10. So exactly tallies. So you can go back, go to the components. In components, give the storage location and enable backflashing. Okay, click on release button and save. Okay, check the cost analysis CO03 248. Go to cost analysis. See, the cost as per this one is 22,724. 22,724. Okay, Now what we will do, we will go back and do the confirmation /OCO 11N. So order number is 248. It is final confirmation. Enter. Bring actual data. Yield is 10. Actual data. So why is it not giving me? I'm surprised. Final confirmation DW 10. It should give me actual data, right? Let me again try /NCO 11. Okay, order number is 248. Enter. Okay, it has brought 15, 10 hours, etc. Final confirmation, everything is fine. If you want, you can create variants, but I would not recommend you to for this scenario. Okay, click on save. Okay, so the order is activity is now confirmed. Goods movement 2, nothing has failed. So go back to your cost analysis. Go back again, return to cost analysis. Check what all happened. Now see total cost 8,400 is booked, 8,000 and 3,400, exactly 11,400, and activity is confirmed. There is no fuel requirement as per the new assembly line because this is a robotic based assembly line, right? So we said that there is no fuel, so that is why fuel has not come. If you now run the CPTA /N CPTA, template allocation will be done. Execute. Done. Back, and now go to KGI2. You will be able to process the overheads. Done. Back. Now order processing, online processing is completed. Go to Migo, receive goods. Okay, against 248 you are receiving goods. You are saying item is okay. See here the valuation type is FG new. Then quantity, where, everything is fine. Check post. Done. Now go back to your cost analysis. All the costs should have come now. Go to cost analysis. See, all the costs have come. So your original ratio was 50, right? 30 and 70, right? Your planned ratio was old process you will use 30%, new process you will use 70% of the time. But whereas in reality you produce 10 units using old, 10 units in new. So 50% is via old, 50% is via new. So now the cost will change. So this will happen at the month end. You will be able to see how the costing run will evaluate the cost. So I'll go to the Excel and I'll show you. See, this was the planned percentage, right? Let me just go here, cut this and paste it here. This is planned ratio, planned mix ratio, and proportionate cost, right? But now if you see actual mix ratio and actual cost, it is 50-50%. It is 50-50%. This is 50%. This is 50%. So then the cost will be 3630 into 50%. Similarly, cost will be 2272 into 50%. Alright. So this is not required here. Okay. So your average cost in that case, what would be the average cost? The average cost will be this plus this. So you are getting 2951. Your planned average cost, you thought it would be 2679, right? But whereas it has come to 2951. Why? Because the old process you have used it. Old process you have used it more than 30%. Planned percentages was 30%, but whereas you have used 50%, which is a high yielding cost. The cost per product is 3630. In this case, you tend to lose your margins, right? So this is what you will be able to achieve by using mixed cost scenario. With this, I have completed all the three scenarios of mixed costing. First, we understood the raw material, domestic versus import based material. Then we understood whether we should make or buy semi finished goods. Now the third scenario, we are determining old versus new. Old assembly line, which is heavily labor based, versus the new assembly line, which is robotic based and less labor intensive. So we arrived, and what will be the best yield also we are trying to compute. So the training, as I said earlier, you will find my training on Udemy. Some of these are available on YouTube. So I hope you have gone through the functional foundational training. The one that we are now covering is the expert level training. So we have created all these accounts, this bomb, etc. We have seen. We have seen the settings also. Okay. Demo is completed. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.